Good morning. A little heat wave this morning. It's 26 now. It's been in the single digits the last couple days when I get up in the morning. I think there's a little tiny bit of snow out there. It's a real fine snow, but we've got a dusting, keeping everything white. So today we're going to work with some lunge variations. I'll explain as we go. Meet me on the mat on your back. And as you arrive on your back, place your legs any way that feels comfortable. I'm going to start in constructive rest with my feet wide on the mat and my knees just dropping towards each other. And breathe. Hands to the belly. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. See if you can slow and lengthen the inhale. And slow and lengthen the exhale. Keep doing that for 2-3 more breaths. Maybe starting to layer in that ocean sound of ujjayi in the back of the throat. That little Darth Vader whisper, but much less noisy and harsh than Darth Vader, just that little bitty sound. Let's take a slow, long reach on an inhale. Good morning. Stretch. And exhale, draw the knees in. So we've just flexed the hips as we draw the knees in. Now as you inhale, reach long, and then push the heels down into the floor to the mat. And you're starting to use your extensor muscles. So the extensor muscles of the hip are those muscles that pull your leg behind you. Exhale, draw knees to chest. Inhale long, and we're going to add a little press down into the heels. Starting into a little lift of the hips. And exhale. Let's do 2 more of these. And last one. No hurry. And now that the knees are in, let's do some range of motion through the hips. Explore, finding some space, finding some sensation. Noticing the hip, but also noticing the low back as you're moving, belly. Now extend the left leg out long, but keep it active by flexing that foot. You can even push down into the heel a little bit if you want to. And we'll start to strengthen a bit those extensor muscles on the left. Draw your right knee close. You can help that out with your hands. Do some circles through the right ankle. And reverse the direction. Now take the knee in the right hand, and we're going to open the knee to the right, lay the left arm out on the floor, and slowly roll the gaze in that direction. While the knee's open here, just point and flex the right foot. Check on the left leg, is it still active? And come back to center, and we're going to draw that knee across the body, coming into a twist. And in your twist, I'd like you to spread your right fingers, spread your right toes, squeeze your fingers into a fist, squeeze your toes into a fist. Do that 4 more times. I've got 2 more. Last one, and back to center. Now take the hands around the femur, around the thigh, and extend the heel up towards the ceiling. We're going to push the femur down into the hip socket as you reach up towards the ceiling with your heel. Now bend the knee and release, and then straighten again. Keep pushing the femur down like you're trying to push that bone into the mat underneath you. Feel the muscles working under your fingers, stretching and contracting. 2 more each way. And then we're going to hold as the leg is straight. And play here a little bit. We're waking up those hamstrings. If you're feeling kind of flexible and warmed up, you can walk your hands along the leg to the calf muscle or not. Maybe your leg's way out here, that's fine. Wherever you find that edge for the hamstrings. Now draw the knee to the chest again, and we're going to open the knee and place the ankle on top of the left thigh. Draw the left foot to the mat, bend the left knee. Leave the arms out here and just working with the muscles of the legs. I want you to push the right knee away. Now lift your thighs towards your belly. Keep pushing that right knee away. Now lace your fingers behind the left thigh and let's reach up through the left heel. And here on the left, we can warm those hamstrings up in this shape as well by bending and straightening that leg. And we're flexing and extending the knee. Now bend the left knee, extend those arms out. We're going to float the left foot to the mat, but to the left edge of the mat. Bring the knees to the right, coming into a nice twist here, really warming the hips this morning. Take the gaze to the left. Your right ankle's on top of the left thigh, left knee. If that's too much, just uncross. And come back to center, come back to that number 4 shape, and then pick up the left foot and take it a little towards the midline. We're going to cross the legs here into a supine eagle position in the legs. You can draw those thighs up towards you again and maybe take a double bind by wrapping the foot behind the calf. Now drop the knees to, let's take the knees to the left in this case. And take the gaze to the right. And breathe. Use your core muscles to lift those knees back up. Come back onto the spine. Unwrap, draw both knees in. Do some circling through the hips. Maybe comparing left and right. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, draw the left knee and keep the right leg active. Flex the foot, maybe even push that heel down into the floor. Do some circles through the left ankle now. Going one way and then the other. Now float that knee open to the left. Take the right arm out onto the floor, take the gaze to the right, and in this shape I want you to point and flex the left foot. Checking on that right leg, is it still active? Now back to center and draw the knee across. Take the left arm out now. So now left hand and fingers, left toes and foot. We're going to spread the fingers and toes wide. And then squeeze. See if you can bring one digit in at a time. So some real focus on each finger and each toe. We'll do a total of 5 of these. And back to the center. Take the hands around the femur, drive that bone down. And now reach through the heel. And let's bend and straighten. Warming up and stretching the hamstring on the left. Now Let's straighten the leg, reach up through the heel, and maybe you can walk your hands a little lower on the leg. Find your edge. Hamstrings are touchy. Don't injure a hamstring. It takes forever for a hamstring to heal. That's firsthand experience. Now bend your knee and take the knee out to the left and the ankle on the right thigh. Arms come out to the floor. Bring the right foot to the mat. Push the left knee away. Now use the muscles of the legs, so the hip flexors, to draw the thighs closer. Keep pushing the left knee away. Now reach behind the right thigh and extend the right leg up long. Reach through the heel. And let's bend and straighten here a couple times. And then hold. And now keep this right leg where it is. We're going to undo the left and bring it to meet the right. And maybe walk the hands down onto the calves. Now bend your knees as you bring the soles of your feet together. Take your ankles, take your forearms and push into your knees, into your inner thighs. Open those hips up. We're not done yet. I want you to undo the feet and bring the feet wide to the left and right edges of the mat. Drop the knees to the left. Reach back there for your right ankle. So this is cat grabbing its tail. We're going to stretch the quads on the right side. Quadriceps, of course there's 4. Not all of them are hip flexors. I think just one. I think rectus femoris, I believe. And then psoas muscle, big deep muscle that goes to your spine and attaches to your femur. But your hip flexors are opposite of your hip extensors. So when one is stretching, the other one's contracting, or when one is relaxing, the other one is contracting. So they're opposing muscle groups. Now go to the other side. We're going to reach back there for the left ankle. And explore movement here. Your focus, awareness in the front of the left thigh. Trying to stretch here a bit. And then one more thing to do here. Let's come up into a couple bridges. So we're going to stretch here the hip flexor. So we're extending now. We're pushing into the mat, squeezing the butt cheek, the gluteus maximus. Those are engaged. And we're releasing the psoas, that deep muscle that goes down into the belly, attaches to the lumbar vertebrae and a couple of the thoracic vertebrae. It's a really big muscle, dives down through the pelvis and attaches to your thigh bone, to the femur. Come down and let's lift up one more time. Lift, stretch down into the belly. See if you can feel that. See if you can soften into that stretch. And sometimes softening means we take our focus to the other side, so to the glutes. So if you can track those glutes, it signals to the flexors to relax. And then release. Draw the knees in. Let's roll up to a seat. Sukhasana would be good. We'll do a little work in the spine and in the upper body. So as you arrive, first notice. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Maybe lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. Reminding yourself that Ujjayi could be nice. Inhale, reach up. On an exhale, take the right hand to the mat, lean over there to the right. Reach with the left. Push the left sit bone down. Breathe into the left ribs. And let's look under the left arm and lift the heart, lift the gaze. So add a little heart opener, maybe a little bit of a twist to this. And bring your gaze forward again. Launch off the right hand. So we're going to push, float up and over. Left hand comes down, right arm up and over it, but at the same time you're pushing the right sit bone down. Breathe into the right ribs. Then look under the right arm, twist a bit, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. Breathe. Bring the gaze forward for stability. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands home to the heart. Swing the arms out and up. Let's come to goddess. We'll do some cat-cow seated in a seated position. And we're going to use goddess arms. So I'm going to round my back as I bring my forearms forward to touch. Exhale. Inhale. Open. Back bend. Stretching the psoas now. Exhale. Round the back. Inhale. Open. We'll do 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Last one. Now keep your arms in goddess and meet me in a neutral spine. We'll twist from here. Take the left hand to the right knee. Take that right hand. Let's take a half bind. So we're going to swing that hand behind. Look over the right shoulder. Sit tall on your inhale. Exhale, maybe you can find a little more room to twist. Now before you move the torso, take your gaze slowly over the left shoulder. And then by releasing the half bind, releasing the knee, just kind of snap out of this like a rubber band. Inhale up. Exhale, goddess. Taking a twist to the left. Take a half bind. With that left hand behind you, sitting tall on your inhale. Exhale, twist. And let your mind go up and down the length of the spine. And see if there's a place that you can twist gently a little deeper. It's surprising sometimes the places we forget, we miss until we focus. Now turn the gaze over the right, and by just releasing, just kind of unwind that spring. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands home to heart. Meet me in table. Hands at knees. Knees under hips. Wrists under shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Press the mat away. Let's reach back with the right leg. Come onto the ball of the foot. Push back through the heel. So notice we're kind of in a lunge position here, just a different orientation to gravity. Lunges are when that back leg is on the ball of the foot and the front leg is flexed, bent. Now let's switch sides. Remembering to keep the legs hip distance apart. So when I say railroad tracks, that's what I mean. Many times in a lunge, when we swing that back leg back there, we end up with the feet more in line with each other, and that makes balance much more difficult. And then bring that knee back up. Let's do some circling through the hips. And go one way and then the other. Back to table. Press into the mat, push the mat away. Let's thread the needle with the left arm shoulder height, reaching behind the right. Twist here, and then come down to the shoulder, to the side of the head. You can take that right hand and take a half bind, and use that half bind to help twist the heart a little more to the right. Lifting the gaze, and then feel that nice stretch in the left shoulder blade. Breathe into that space. And then unwinding, we'll take the second side, right arm shoulder height, dives behind left, find your twist, and then come down. Take your half bind with your left hand now, and use that to turn the heart to the left, even lifting a bit towards the sky. The gaze goes up. And feel sensations here. Feel a twist, but also take note of the stretch in the right shoulder blade now. And then back to table. Let's step the right foot forward between the hands. We're going to come up in a kneeling lunge. So look at the legs. Make sure you're on railroad tracks. Take the hands to the hips, drawing the right hip back, let the left hip wrap forward. Keep that engagement, keep that isometric contraction. Bring your hands to your heart. And as you lift your prayer, maybe sinking forward into the hips, getting a nice stretch here in the psoas muscle, and then a nice stretch in the glutes on the other leg. Breathe. And then exhale, hands home to heart. Blocks under hands if you like that, or you can bring the hands to the floor. I want you to come onto the heel of the right leg. Again, engaging isometrically the hips. So we're going to draw the right leg back without letting it move. And that left knee, like we're trying to drag it forward. Draw your right toes towards your knee. You'll feel a nice deepening of that stretch of the right leg. And then lifting halfway, so long spine, and then starting right here at the hip crease. Let's fold forward. You can even take that left hand to the outside of the right leg. Maybe a little twist, kind of like our Janu Shirshasana. And then back to kneeling lunge, but keep the left hand on the mat. We're going to take the right hand to the right knee, push down, turn the heart to the right, reach up with the right arm. Now see if you can rise up in this twist. Engage the hips and breathe. Now face forward, bring the hands together. Press the hands together, drop the shoulders out of the ears. We're going to twist this again, but we'll twist and fold, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, folding forward, stacking the right hand on top of the left, pressing right hand into left. And you can play with the hands here. It can feel nice to make a fist with the left hand, and then the right hand kind of grips the top and pushes down. Now stay folded forward. We're going to come back to that twist with the left hand on the floor. Reach up with the right. Now bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe that foot off to the right. Little external rotation of the toes. When you get there, adjust the wrists now so they're under the shoulders. Do some hip circles here. Really feeling the muscles of the hip complex. Noticing that when one muscle is contracting, an opposing muscle, usually on the opposite side of the joint or the bone, is contracting. One contracts and one relaxes. Now come back to stillness here. So we're going to work our way into lizard. Maybe this is it for you, or maybe you start to come forward. Maybe you come to your forearms. Blocks can be good. Tuck the toes of the left foot and then lift the knee. Breathe. Push down into those elbows if you're on your forearms. Protect your shoulders. Now, if you're on your forearms, let's just come into a forearm plank. So draw that right foot back. Now push yourself forward, drop the hips, and come into Sphinx. It's a nice back bend. Push down into the elbows, pull the hands towards you. Nothing moves except the heart will come forward and you telescope the spine, bringing space between the vertebrae. Now recommit to the back bend. Now notice here in this back bend, we're stretching those deep psoas muscles in the belly. Breathe. Pivot on the elbows, turn the hands out, left and right, coming into a deeper back bend, seal. Think about the spine though. Make sure you're telescoping the spine. Draw the navel back towards the spine. Support the lumbar spine like an airbag. You can still add that support and get a nice stretch of the psoas. And then exhale, come down. Press back into table and sit back in child's pose. So notice this is a resting position, but right now your hips are flexed and the extensor muscles, the glutes and the hamstrings, especially the glutes, glute maximus is stretching now. It's kind of a passive flexion though of the hips. And coming back up, let's bring the left foot forward. Make sure you're on railroad tracks. Rise up, hands to hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Keep that. Hands to heart. Shift forward, lift your prayer. Keep the hips engaged. It's eccentric contraction, so the muscles are contracting and at the same time we're stretching those muscles. So it's a safer way to stretch the muscles in these poses where we're putting a lot of weight into the stretch. So control it. And then exhale back to your kneeling lunge. Take the left hand to the mat. Take the right hand to the right knee. You're going to twist this, reaching up. Try to stack your shoulders and lift, like I'm helping you up by those left fingertips. Lifting into the twist. Reach in both directions. Feel how the body's stabilizing. Now this time, take that left hand and drop it down, making a big circle. I should have done that first time. And bring the hands to heart. We'll take a twist here, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, folding forward, pushing that top hand into the bottom, and twisting the heart to the left. Now unwind, but stay folded, and we're going to come back to that original twist. Now take that top hand, left hand to the inside of the left foot, heel toe the left foot to the left edge of the mat, and a little extra external rotation of the toes. You can even drop the knee out here a little bit. Do some circles. And maybe compare the sensations on this side with those that you recall from the first side. My hamstrings are way tighter on this leg for some reason today. And then coming to stillness, we'll work our way into your lizard variation today. So maybe you get to the forearms, maybe you don't. Maybe you tuck the toes of the right leg and lift the knee, maybe you don't. Push into those elbows, protect your shoulders. Now meet me in a forearm plank. We're on the balls of the feet, elbows are underneath the shoulders. I'm going to push on the balls of the feet so my shoulders come forward of my elbows. Spread the fingers and then drop the hips. Tops of the feet to the mat. Pull the hands toward you without moving them. Let the heart come forward. Now float the forehead down, and we're going to bring the hands wide. In line mostly with the shoulders. Elbows are up. We're going to come onto fingertips. Inhale, lift. Let's roll with this 4 more times. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Feel the stretch deep in the belly of the psoas as you come up. Exhale down, 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. And then find crocodile. Stack the hands, separate the legs. Then you can windshield wiper the shins, circle the shins. Make sure the pelvis moves with this. So the lumbar spine, the low back, is reminded to release after that back bend. And float the shins down. Let go. Exhale. Let everything go. Soften everything. 3 more breaths. Longer, slower inhale. Longer, slower exhale. And meet me in a down dog. Once you get here, we always have to take time to play in down dog, finding sensation and space. Now plant the feet hip distance apart. We're gonna really focus on keeping them that way as we move through some lunge variations. Swing your right leg back and up. Step it forward. Stand the ball of the left foot. Rise up. Hands to hips. Left hip, right hip back, left hip forward. And then bend that left knee a little bit. Scoop your tailbone under. And then straighten that left leg any amount. You'll feel a nice deepening of the hip flexor stretch here on the left. Bring your hands to heart. Lift your prayer. Maybe adding a back bend now. But as you come into the back bend, smooth this down so the low ribs aren't just protruding, sticking out there. Smooth the belly, smooth the ribs. And then exhale, hands to heart. Fold forward here and take the left hand to the mat. And you may want to reach back a little longer with the left leg. And sometimes it helps to take the left hand out a little wider for what we're going to do next. So folding forward, let's bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. We're going to turn the toes of the right foot out. I'm going to come to the little toe edge of the left foot. So this is a variation of a side plank. Once you get here, play with this a little bit. Make sure the knees are happy, the wrist is happy. You may want to check in on the side camera to see what I'm doing. And then we're going to float those hips down and reach out with your right arm. Then up with the arm, up with the hip, and down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Last one. Now meet me in plank. Flip to the tops of your feet. Find upward facing dog or high cobra. Tuck the toes, down dog. Feet hip distance apart. Left leg back and up. Step it forward. Check out the railroad tracks. Rise up. Hands to hips. Left hip back, right hip wraps forward, bend the right knee, scoop the tailbone, then work to reach through the heel. So you've smoothed your ribs a bit. Hands to heart. Lift your prayer, and then rising up from the very tip of the spine to the crown of your head into high crescent lunge, keeping those hips engaged. Breathing. Exhale, fold forward. Drop the right hand. Maybe you extend that right leg back a little more. Both hands to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe to left foot open a bit and then turn the toes out. I'm going to come to the little toe edge of the right foot. So I'm on my right hand. Coming into a variation of side lunge. Then I'm going to lower the hip. You may have to adjust your hand. And reach back towards my leg. And then lift. Bring the arm up by your ear and lower. We'll do 3 more. Here's 1. 2. And 3. Meet me in plank. Shift forward, lower the hips. You can come to the tops of the feet or just stay on the balls of the feet. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward a little bit here. Bend your knees a lot. Push the hands away. Breathe. Look between the hands and let's step forward. Arrive on an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swing your arms out and up. And exhale, hands home to the heart. So a balance pose today will be some variations on staff pose, which is kind of a standing lunge. I'm going to bear weight, shift my weight to the right foot, and then lift the left knee. I'm flexing, bringing the thigh towards the belly. You can support that knee if you like, or maybe not. And then play with your edge, with your balance. Now float the left hand to the knee. Take the right hand to the hip. We're going to open the knee to the left and take the gaze to the right. You can reach out with that right arm if it helps. Now bring the knee forward, both arms out wide. Reach through the heel, keep that leg lifted. Let's come into a standing number 4 here. And then fold into Temple Dancer. And breathe. And keep the legs like they are, rise up and slide the little toes so they touch. Keep a little bend in the knees, fold forward again. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Walk those fingertips over to your right and send the hips to the left and back. Breathe. Walk the hands forward, unwind the feet, lift and lengthen halfway, and fold. Pull the feet away from each other, swing your arms out and up, and exhale the hands home to the heart. Second side, balance on the left, lift the right, breathe. Reach out for your knee. Open the knee to the right. Take the left hand to the hip or keep it out wide and take your gaze to your left. Notice and compare balance left and right. And bring that knee forward again. Extend the leg out long. Reach through the heel. Coming into a standing number 4. And then Temple Dancer. Folding into this. If you fall out of balance, come back. As you rise up, bring those little toes to touch. Keep the knees bent a bit here. And then fold at the hip creases. Bringing those fingertips gently to the ground and then walk the fingertips to the left. Send the hips back and to the right. Breathe. Fingertips forward, lift halfway. Take your hands to the mat. Step back with the right foot. Keep that knee lifted and inhale, rise up. Bring your arms forward. Swing that left arm up, back, and down. Take that hand to the leg and reach up. So kind of a peaceful warrior vibe going here. Now unwind and straighten the front leg. Coming into pyramid now. So I'm still on the ball of my right foot. Fold forward. You can have blocks underneath your hands here. A nice stretch in the left leg. Frame that foot, step back into down dog. Step it forward. Come halfway on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Arms out and up. Exhale, hands home to the heart. One more, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lifting halfway. Hands to the mat, step back with the left foot. Rise up in your lunge, and right away we're going to open to that twist, and then take the hand down the leg, lift the left arm up, and breathe. Cartwheel around, and meet me in a seat. Let's come into Upavista Konasana, so feet are wide. Adjust here. Flex the feet and then internally rotate the thighs so the toes start to point inward. Lifting and lengthening on an inhale. Floating forward, leading with the heart on the exhale. Find your edge. And then roll on the heels so the toes face up. Compare left and right. Boy, for some reason on the left, well, really this is my right leg. I'm much tighter over here today. Walk the fingertips over towards the right leg. And then walk the fingertips over towards the left leg. Do that one more time and maybe you make it a little further. Maybe you even reach across that leg. And to the other side. And then rising up. Finding your way to your back. Once again, coming to a bent knee and feet wide, left and right edges of the mat. And a nice gentle windshield wiper of the shins. And if you have a block, you can come into a supported bridge. And if not, no big deal. But this is a nice way to stretch your psoas. So with that little lift in the hips, now the legs can just come out long, and you're stretching the front of your abdomen deep down in there, that psoas muscle. Those psoas muscles, there's two. I like this for Shavasana. So I'm going to stay right here, but if you want something else, find that shape. And find your breath. And maybe as we rest for a moment together, focus deep into the hips. What sensations can you discover? You don't even have to know what the muscles are. What are you feeling? Where do you feel it? Where can you soften? Where can you let go? If you're on a block like I am, take it away. Coming down to a neutral spine for a breath or two. And then a nice good morning stretch. And knees to chest. Maybe really squeeze the knees to the chest so you get a stretch back there in the glutes. And then let's rock to a seated position today. It's daylight again. I don't think it's snowing now, but it's very gray. It's very wintry looking out there. It was good to be with you again this Friday, moving into a weekend. I hope yours is wonderful. I'll see you Monday morning, 7 a.m. Until then, reach up together. Have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. Thank you so much. See you Monday.